STPL. Hello guys and welcome to today's STPL. My name is Kix. You are joining me for CWT versus Ash today. We did have one sub in terms of Hit 'em Up was suddenly called into work last minute, so we will have a very interesting matchup coming there. We're going to have Zoom versus Yeti, which should be really cool actually. So hopefully that's going to be good, but this is the... what am I saying? I have no idea what I'm saying anymore. Basically, this is the third day of streaming this week. I was only planning on streaming 2, but the matchup on Wednesday lasted a very long... it was a really long matchup, so I was like, okay, you know what? We're gonna step back a second, and we are gonna have a break, and then we're gonna cast on Friday as well. So that's why we're here. I know it popped up on TL yesterday, but that was my mistake when I set up my events. I set them all a day early by accident, rather than a day later, which I should have done. And well, we're having a good week. We're having a good week. So this is the format: best of 5, best of 1 all the way through. The lineup selected in advance, and all the games are played at the same time. The ace match: any player can compete again, along with anyone else who may have taken part in the in their roster. So pretty cool. Hopefully we'll get an ace match today, but you never know. Let's have a look at the lineups we're going to be seeing today. We're going to have one of our newer teams, CWT, face off against one of our veteran teams, Ash. Looks like Ash's name is capitalized now, which is weird because it wasn't before. So that's something else I need to update before Blackstone gets annoyed with me again. At least the S isn't capitalized, because I did that and then everyone else started doing it. We've got a good lineup today. We've got a lot of Protoss players though, which it's a little bit unfortunate. Fear is playing Protoss as well, so it's a PvP rather than a PvT. But actually, I need to double check. I'm fairly certain he signed up as Protoss this week. But either way, we've got Zoom against Yeti in game number 1. 2 former teammates from Net Wars going to be facing off against each other on the electric circuit. We have Metodman versus Ranged. That's going to be a PvP on Blindside. A PvP on Judgment Day, Fear versus KwarK. One of the legendary UK players, given there's not too many of us. He's kind of pretty well known in the community. And then we have a TVP between Vaklavson and Cloud, so that should be a lot of fun. Cloud is the legendary Italian player from very far back in the day. He is back again, and he is here ready to kick some ass, so hopefully he's going to be able to do that today. But basically, that is our lineup, so let's have a look at our first couple of players. Zoom hasn't really played too much in the STPL, so not much to say there, but Yeti is an absolute king. He's done incredibly well in the STPL. Over 700 players have registered and played games, and Yeti is in the top 20 of them. A 66% win rate overall, over 66 games, and a 62% win rate over 16 against Zerg. This is truly the man to beat in this matchup. He's played against some really good players and beat them recently, such as DeWalt. He beat ASL qualified Buell in a 45-minute PvT, which was incredible as well. Unfortunately, his latest PvZs from the last 10 games haven't been great. He did lose both of them, but he was suffering a bit from wrist issues back then, so I wonder if those are kind of doing a little bit better now. Having a look at the map we're going into, it is going to be Neo Electric Circuit, one of my favorite maps of all time. PvZ on here, we've got 4-3. There's only been one game here so far, PvZ this season, and that wasn't even this season, sorry, that was actually the show matches I did back in May, but the previous games on this map were all from season 1, so that was a long time ago. One of them was a walkover there as well, as you can see, but let's get into it. It's game number 1, CWT versus Ash. Okay, starting us off here in the top right hand corner, we do have the blue Zerg fighting for CWT. It's Zoom. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right hand corner in the red, fighting for Ash. It's Yeti. Okay, so two former teammates here going to be fighting against each other. Both of these were members of Net Wars when it was in the STPL. Zoom actually left and joined another team last season, but never actually played a game, so I can't remember what team he was on. But Yeti, when Net Wars decided not to play this season, joined Ash, and it's really good that we get to see his game still, because Yeti is a really, really good player. At one point, he had more wins than anyone, and he had like a ridiculously high win rate as well, so it's always nice to see players like Yeti again. Now, we don't have anything other than a 12 hatch coming up here for Zoom, and Zoom looks like he's going to take the 12 hatch in his main. So he's going to take the high ground 12 hatch just to make sure he can get it. Oh, actually he's not. He's faking it. There we go. Maybe thinking the probe will go up there. I wonder if he's just going to go double hatch before pull. Looks like he won't, but that was a bit weird. He did send two drones out together, so I don't know if he was maybe trying to trick the probe to go away, but it didn't really work. Yeah, it looks like, oh, spawning pool gets blocked by the probe. Nicely done. Spawning pool comes up immediately underneath the hatchery. This is definitely not the best place for it, so that's going to suck just a little bit as we go further into the game. Now Yeti is going Nexus first. He sees the 12 hatch, and this is the correct response. If you know your opponent's going for 12 hatch, you know there's no links coming for you for a while, and you can play incredibly greedily, and that's exactly what Yeti's doing. This is going to give him a big advantage as we move into the early stages of the game. Okay, falling asleep at the wheel a little bit there, but there we go. We've got a cannon coming up, gateway coming up to kind of complete the wall. There is a gap here and a gap here, which you'll be able to block with zealots. That's definitely something he's going to have to look to do, because there will be lings on the way. 6 across at the moment. Third hatchery coming up as well. We see the gas coming in. Is it going to be for Hydra Den, or is Zoom going to go for a lair? I don't really know too much about Zoom, so I don't know whether or not he's going to play aggressively or kind of defensively. But it's kind of confusing, really. Okay, looks like the Lings do manage to partially get past the assimilator there. These two Lings just kind of being annoying, not really going to be doing too much damage, but they are still a pain for Yeti to have to deal with. Pulls a few probes off to try and deal with this. Actually, maybe there's a little bit of an overreaction, but he wants to make sure he kills them before speed kicks in, but doesn't quite get him just yet. Zealot going to come in here, should be able to clean these up, but with good control, Zoom should be able to keep these alive for a long time. Yeti's probe actually getting stuck on the side disruptor. A little bit of a misclick on his way back to his base. Something to watch out for on this map, but looks like he's going to use that opportunity to send that up to scout again. My Twitch chat disconnected. I've got the restream chat running and I saw Eskia say something. I'm like, huh, can't see it. That's so strange, but oh well. Good thing is now I've got the restream chat going as well, so if you see anything in YouTube or Afrika TV, I forgot I streamed there, I will be able to see your messages if you want. Okay, Lair coming in. It wasn't a Hydra Den. The Zoom just playing pretty standard. Looks like we are in a pretty good position to be able to get into at least the mid game here without Yeti dying to Hydras, which is, I would say that's always a good sign in a PvZ. The amount of PvZs I've seen end incredibly quickly to just Hydra busts, it's very, very sad. I feel bad for Protoss. Like, I feel like Protoss has such a hard time in this matchup, more so than any other race does in any other matchup. Okay, the Forge is actually going to go down here. This is a really weird place to be able to attack the wall from. The cannon's just out of range. I think Yeti should have built his wall a little bit higher, but he should really go and try and save the Forge. He actually cancels +1 if he even started it. The first Corsair is out, which is going to be able to clear the Overlord. The Hydras, for whatever reason, decide to run into the cannon. So the Forge is going to survive for now. Do we have a second Forge coming from the main? Yes, we do. So Yeti is getting ready for that. He will have to get his +1 attack sooner or later. But now where that Forge is so low, it's going to be very difficult to do it. Now, did we see no Cybercore spinning, so no +1 upgrade here? So the Corsair just going to go in, scout everything that's going on. Sees the lair, but still no Spire yet. I tell a lie, there's one at the third base. This is kind of an odd place to put it, but on this map it's quite heavily defended. You have the Side Disruptors blocking, they are stacked. And the only way to get to that base is through the main, which is very unlikely that's going to happen. Now, obviously a drop could be quite powerful, but even then that's quite difficult to come in. We do have a Robo coming in fairly quickly. Robo before a Templar Archives as well, so I think he's getting ready to go for a drop, which would definitely make sense. Knowing he's not up against a Hydra Bust Storm isn't super important to get past. You do need it, but it's not the end of the world. The Forge is definitely going to go down here at the end though. Yeah, no, the Forge goes down. A little bit annoying, but Yeti wasn't upgrading from there anyway. He's upgrading in the main, so not the end of the world, but this Robo definitely it's a significant tech choice by Yeti there, because if you don't go for Storm right away, Hydra Busts are basically impossible to hold unless you've got Reavers. But the amount of people that open Reavers in ZV or PvZ are very, very low. I do like Reaver openings though, because Reaver openings are basically like the no, you're not killing me with a Hydra Bust build. But the trouble is, once you've gone Reavers, you're kind of stuck. And you have to play Corsair Reaver because that's like all you've got. So it makes it a little bit difficult in other ways, which is why it's not super common and it's very map dependent. Storm is on the way, of course. Observatory coming in as well. Maybe just preparing for some possible lurkers coming in soon. Now, these Hydra upgrades are actually quite late. Speed is done, but Hydra range isn't. First, Dark Templar is on the way. Shuttle is already done. Oh, this is a nice drop. High Templar, 2 Zealots, and a DT. Now, can he get this drop to hit here? Now, Yeti's already getting ready to defend his back door. He knows that that could be a problem. Oh my god, there's actually 2 Scourge. They get pulled away. The Shuttle is behind. This is very, very nice, but oh my god, is Zoom going to see this? Zoom sees it. The Scourge should turn around and kill this. But where did the Scourge go? Oh, the Scourge must have hit the Corsairs. Now, there is a Lurker Contain being set up here, which is a bit of a pain to deal with. But not the end of the world. Now, Yeti, I don't know if he's assuming that his drop is dead, but definitely does need to get on that. Looks like here it comes. He will drop the DT first. Honestly, he should just... He maybe should have... How has Zoom not noticed this? Zoom is busy looking at the Corsairs. That is very unfortunate. Oh my god, that Storm is so good. 4 drones. His DT has cleaned up all of the drones at the natural. This is such a good move by Yeti. I thought given the fact he saw the shuttle on his minimap, he would definitely be able to kill the DT, but he just didn't notice. Oh my god, there's no Overlord in the main. There's no reaction. Zoom is taking so much damage. Yeti is putting himself in an unsurmountable lead here. And this is cool. And Lucky Noob saying, Lucky Noob saying this is why we do Hydra Bursts. That's a fair point. Now, there is a lurker attacking something, but I don't know what it's attacking. I thought it was attacking this, but it's not. Yeah, so many drones just died, but Zoom is still back at 38 drones. That is an incredible amount of droning going on, which is great. But it also means his army is much smaller, so if, as we get further into the game, if Yeti can kind of push back out with a few more units, he could possibly break this contain a lot sooner, but we've got a lot of Hydras coming over. The one benefit Yeti has is he can break out this back door, and it's very hard to contain this ramp. So we should see Yeti try to break out there soon if he can. The gateway completely in the way, so that's going to be taken down. And we're going to start to see some Dragoons coming in here as well from Yeti. Yeti only on 5 gates, which doesn't seem that many. He's already got his 3rd base coming up, but he definitely needs units. Units are his big problem here. Now, I don't know if you guys can hear the people like hooting or bibbing their horns outside, but essentially there is a big fuel, like a big petrol shortage caused in the UK by a lack of lorry drivers, because guess what? Turns out when you leave the European Union and all of your cheap labor can't come here anymore, you don't get people who want to drive lorries, because most English people don't want to do that because it's a shitty job. So we've got no lorry drivers to save fuel over, but looks like that's a bit of a failed bust attempt. Nice storm though by Yeti. Oh my god, nice double storm, but unfortunately it was stacked. So there was a little bit of a misclick, but here we don't have lorry drivers, so we don't have any people driving petrol around the country. So all of a sudden, everyone is panic buying petrol. I live across from a petrol station, and there's just been a gridlock traffic jam out there all day, because it's just full constantly. Like, people think the world is ending with the amount of petrol people are getting. It's friggin' insane. But Yeti did a lot of damage with his drops, but unfortunately, he is getting contained quite heavily here. And if you get contained like that, it can be very difficult to break out as Protoss. You don't really have any choice but to go mass drop, or even Arbiter Recall. But Arbiter Recall is kind of risky. Arbiters are very expensive. Obviously, Scourge takes 2 kills for an Arbiter. And yeah, Shimmer makes a good point. Like, the meteor is fueling the problem as well. But here we go. Looks like we are going to have a push out. 2 High Templar here. Neither have enough energy. One of them getting taken down right before it got energy there. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Okay, that Lurker nearly got incredibly lucky there. That would have been so unfair if that had survived. But we've got Overlords here looking to see... Why is he moving all of his Overlords down here? Is he trying to fake a drop? If he is, he should fly them in. Like, sending them here is just such a weird move. Looks like Yeti's still trying to push forward, doesn't want to push in. That was a juicy storm on the Hydras. But it's so hard to break this. Reavers are really what you need. But he doesn't really have the money for Reavers, which is the problem. +2 attack is on the way, so that's going to help a little bit. Nice storm. Muteless coming in here, help trying to snipe some of these High Templars, because he knows Storm is what's keeping Yeti in this game at the moment. Looks like Dragoon's getting a little bit busy and like running off into the middle of nowhere, but looks like the fake drop has kind of worked. Yeti's sending a lot of his units back to defend a drop that's not coming. And if Zoom realizes this, he can push in with everything, and that could be a very difficult situation. But finally, it looks like Yeti has decided that is not the route to take, and has come back. Now, if he could just attack one of the lurkers at the same time, that would be so much better. But unfortunately, he's running into a lot at once. And when you run into this many, your Dragoons start to melt, especially without the +2 armor that a lot of people have been getting recently. And more units are coming in here. Yeti put himself at an incredible advantage, but the fact he didn't use the time he had while Zoom was redroning to push out has really cost him here. The Mute is doing so much damage. The High Templars not really having enough energy to do too much. More cannons being taken down. Where is the Reavers? We need Reavers here for sure. But obviously with only 2 gas, it's a little bit harder for Yeti. We only have Zoom on 3 gas at the moment. The 4th gas is coming up. Nice storm on the Mutas, getting a few of those units. We're killing one of his own Dragoons as well. The Corsairs really starting to help out a little bit, but what are these Dragoons doing? This is so unfortunate. Every time he moves forward like this, he's taking damage. That's a nice storm, but it doesn't hit the Lurker. The world's luckiest Lurker over here. It's so hard to break these contains, and Yeti is really starting to struggle. Nice storms on the back Lurkers, but can he finish them off? It doesn't look like he can, and he's losing so many units every time he does this, and he loses an Observer as well. This is why you need Reavers. This is why you need Reavers, everyone. You could even break down the side disruptors with Reavers if you want, but even going out here would be better, because if you think, the Zerg has no units at home. Absolutely none. Every single unit is going to be sat in this contain. Most of them are Lurkers, so they have to unburrow and then run, in which case they're vulnerable. But it's so difficult to make that decision. Like, if you open your back door, it makes things harder. This Dragoon is not going to live very long. God knows what that Dragoon was doing. No additional upgrades coming in on the Forge. He doesn't really have that much gas. More gateways coming in, which is good, but he needs more tech. We've got Yeti checking out where the extra bases are. Does see the 4th base is taken. Looks like Yeti trying to just run his way out. I don't think this is going to work very well. No, he doesn't have storm energy. He's always pushing out a little bit too early. The High Templar gets taken down. Yeti's in trouble. Like, Zoom I thought was in a terrible spot, but he just keeps going from strength to strength. Every engagement is just going incredibly well, and yet he's finding himself completely stuck. Now, we do have Hive here as well, and as soon as we get Defilers, that is essentially game over for Yeti, because Dragoons are never going to break the Lurkers, and you can't deal with 2-2 Lurkers with just Zealots, no armor. It's just not going to work. There is no Defiler Mound, interestingly, though. He's got a Sunken coming up over here in the top left, but there's... I don't even know why. There's absolutely no units that can get up there. Look at the Overlord spread as well. Like, Zoom knows absolutely everything. He can see this corner. The only path Yeti has out is down here, but then on that path, Zoom also has Overlords, like, dotted around everywhere, so you can't even drop. Like, this is a tough matchup for Yeti here. Like, Yeti is completely blind. Look at this. Like, if you look at his vision, he knows absolutely nothing. This is terrifying. Now, it looks like he is going to use an Archon to break the side disruptors. So it looks like he is going to try and break out the back, but Zoom knows. Zoom knows, and he's going to start moving his Lurkers, I reckon. This is so frustrating from a Protoss perspective watching this. There's not much else going on, so I'm just going to keep watching, because I want to see what happens. Does Zoom just attack up the ramp? And I don't think the Dragoons can get out of here because of this cannon and the pylon. Like, is he planning to try and get Zoom to move? No, he wants to bring his army up here. Oh, the Dragoons can get by, they're just kind of stuck. Probes are coming up here as well. He's going to push up. He's pushing out with probes. I don't think this is going to work. Oh no, he's going to mine out the minerals. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, this is going to be so much damage. So many probes going down there. Nice storm though. But the units are stuck on the ramp. The High Templar can't move back up. Another storm coming in. But Yeti is completely stuck again. His supply plummeting as he can't get out. And he tried to get the minerals, but those Lurkers, man. 5 kills on the probes. Nicely done. That's a nice storm. Clears up most of those Hydras. And he's even morphing one on the ramp. And we do need Arbiters or Reavers or something. Like, Yeti has stayed on the same tech. It's not working. that is when you need to make a decision to do something, but he's running low on gas. He's only realistically mining from 1 gas at this point. Recall is his only option. Thinking about it, what are Zealots gonna do? They just run out and they die. They don't have any armor upgrades. That's a nice storm. That's a very, very nice storm, actually. Kills three lurkers before they can hatch. The thing is, like, you shouldn't necessarily need 3 gas for Arbiter, but when you're kind of all in, you may as well do something, right? What he's spending his gas on at the moment is not helping. It's a little bit unfortunate, but Zoom has played this map perfectly, and here we go. Look at the amount of Zealots coming out here. And look at the amount of lurkers. Like, you're not breaking this with Zealots. Every time you move out, you just lose units. Rolta saying if you can get contained like this, Arbiter isn't going to help. Surely if you recall their main or something, it forces them to give up their contain, right? Because they don't have any units back at home. Like, maybe if you did it earlier. Like, surely Reavers would be better than this. Like, just constantly trying to push out with your Zealot Dragoon when it's not working. Surely Reavers are, like, a better choice, right? Yeah, but surely Reavers can help you break the contain, right? That's all you need to do. You just have to break the contain and then you can expand again. Okay, all of the lurkers are running in here. This is so much damage, but that's such a good storm. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's such a good storm. 2 lurkers remain, but both of them in a single storm. They're gonna get cleaned up. The natural is dead. Oh, they weren't. Sorry, they weren't on top of each other. Rota, I don't understand how Goon Templar can be better. Templar have limited energy, and like you need 2 storms to kill a Reaver, a lurker even. You're never gonna break the contain with just Templar Dragoon, right? I mean, Zakrom saying Reaver gets sniped too easily, but genuinely, if all you're doing is controlling your Reaver, surely it should be easy enough to not get it sniped, right? Like, you can break it with Reavers, I'm sure there's no doubt you can break it with Reavers. GG, Yeti taps out, Zoom wins game at number 1. Yeah, you would need the shuttle as well, but I mean, literally, all you're doing is sat on 2 or 3 base contained. Like, that's all you're doing. Like, all you're doing is controlling the Reaver, right? Well, you don't need as many observers if you're not losing them constantly trying to push out with Dragoon Templar, right? I just like, logically to me, Rota's saying, like, if it was good, we'd see it more often. But I don't see how logically it can't be good. Surely it's got to be better. Surely it's got to be better than, like, running and losing your army over and over again, right? Am I being stupid? Like, surely, if what you're doing isn't working, carrying on doing that is not going to make it any better. Like, it may be hard to micro a Reaver, Obs, and Shuttle, but even if you get Obs range, like sight range, I don't know. Like, I can't understand how, like, doing that is worse than not ever going to be able to break out your base. It's a matter of gas, but you're stuck on 2 base, right? What are you going to do? Like, you're just going to keep... Like, surely Dragoon Templar is also the same problem of a matter of gas, right? Because at the end of the day, you're still going to be running out, losing gas every time you push out. I don't know. I just can't understand how, like, 1 Reaver or 2 Reavers and 1 Shuttle can't be better than, like, Dragoon Templar. Like, maybe it's just me. I'm definitely not a Protoss player, so I'm wrong, but that's what I think. I may be wrong, but I would love to see, like, someone at least attempt it, rather than just constantly losing all of their Dragoon Templar over and over again when it doesn't work. Either way, we'll be back in just a few minutes with game number 2. Okay guys, welcome back. We are going into game number 2. It's going to be between two brand new players, the STPL Ranged and Metodman. Metodman playing for CWT, Ranged for Ash. We do have Blindside, our map from Season 4, back again. We've had some really good games on here. It's going to be a PvP. Let's get into it. Okay, starting us off here in the 12 o'clock position, we do have the green... Oh, yeah, it's the green Protoss fighting for Ash. It's ranged. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom middle, fighting for CWT. It's Metodman as in the red. Also Chaz, I was thinking about using like one or two of the New World Map Contest maps, but the trouble is, we basically had so many new maps last season that this time I just wanted to do maps that people already played, because I didn't want to kind of force people to play like new maps over and over again. Okay, gateway first for both players, of course. Are we going to see mirror builds? That would be kind of the standard fare in CVP, in PvP and STPL, is what I meant to say. But you never know, so gateway gas coming in for both players. Yeah, Ranged is a pretty old school player as well. Most of the players on Ash now are pretty damn old school. Like Yeti has been playing for years now. Cloud is coming up in game number 4. He's probably one of the most well-known Italian players in Brood War. They don't have Machine this season, but they do have... Wait, no, they do have... No, Machine's on red now, isn't he? But they've got like a load of really, really old school players on Ash. Rhett's on Ash as well. I don't think he plays much anymore, but he played last season for them. Wait, hold on. Yeah, Lucky Noob makes a good point in Brood War. We gotta say who isn't old school. But the thing is, right, when you look at like me, for instance, I joined in like 2008. I am definitely like not old school. Oh, they've also got like Octurg and Technics and Shad and Squall and KwarK as well. And they've also got Sarens. Oh, Red's inactive. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. But basically, he's on their roster either way. Like, old school in Brood War terms is like friggin' Liquid Drone, man. Like Ariador. On Red, he still plays in like tournaments and stuff. He's been playing since before Brood War came out. That's how long he's played this game. Like, he's one of the people that Artosis has come out and said that actually taught him how to play the game. That many years ago. Like, everyone thinks of Artosis as old school. Like, Drone is on the next level to that. And Arote in chat saying I started in 2003 and I don't think I'm old school either. Like, that's crazy. You're definitely old school. What the hell are you going on about? In Brood War terms, I am pretty much a baby though. I started in like 2008, so I came in like 10 years after everything started. Like, I missed the peak years of like Brood War pro scene of like Boxer Yellow era, and then Nada and Uv, and I joined when like Fantasy was just starting to get good. And then, yeah, I watched all the way till 2011 when Pro Brood War stopped. And then I continued watching while Pro Brood War was essentially dead. Because I didn't mind StarCraft 2, but I didn't like it very much. But Yeah, I always watch Brood War from then. Although I must admit I forgot ASL this week. Was ASL on this week? Or was it not on? Was it on Tuesday? Did I miss it? I don't even know. Oh, ASL's on a break. Okay, I didn't miss it. I'm glad, because I was like, I'm sure if it was on I would have watched it while I was working. But then I was like, I don't remember seeing it. Oh, ASL starts on Sunday, okay. Oh, of course, because the round of 16 starts, doesn't it? They did the, didn't they do the group selection last weekend? I think. Now, in terms of what's going on in this game, we've got 2 gate against 1. Both players going for Robo, which means Ranged is in a better position unit-wise early on with his Dragoons, which gives him the ability to expand, which is kind of an interesting move. He is going to be behind in tech, which he does have to be careful for. And somehow, despite having extra gates, because he built the Nexus, he stopped production on Goons, so Metodman actually catches up in units, and he's also going to be able to expand. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the Nintendo Direct yesterday as well, the Nindai, but I thought it was pretty damn good. I started watching it in VR chat with a couple of people, and it was so freaking good. So many games that I want to play. It's kind of insane. Like, October this year is stacked for new games, right? You've got the new Monkey Ball, the new Super Robot Wars in English. You've got Back 4 Blood, which I'm really excited for. Like, pretty much everything. Metroid Dread as well, which I've been waiting like 15 years to be able to play. Oh my god, October's so good. I barely buy any games anymore, but that's definitely going to be the one. I do apologize for not talking about the game that much, but at the moment, there's not really much going on. Both players are going into Reavers, they're both expanding. Ranged has an advantage at the moment. A probe is going to see the expansion and know that he's a little bit behind, given his expansion hasn't finished. And that's basically all we can talk about the game at the moment. This is one of the amazing things. We've also got the N64 games and Mega Drive games coming to, well, not all of them. I wish it was more, but we've got a decent amount coming at the start, including like F-Zero X, Star Fox 64, Mario Kart 64, all of which have 4-player online multiplayer. It's also got, if I remember rightly, the original Mario Tennis, which online multiplayer for that is going to be absolutely incredible. And also pointing out there is the 8 probe deficit, which is a very big deal. 10 now, of course, with the cup probes earlier on and the Nexus coming up later. So Metodman is going to have to do a little bit of damage to Ranged if he wants to make it up for here, but he does have shuttle speed coming in a lot sooner. Ranged is like over nearly 20 supply ahead, which is pretty insane in a PvP. Looks like Ranged is actually going to be the one scouting first. You'll see that Metodman doesn't really have any vision whatsoever of what's going on. Now, there is a probe putting up some proxy pylons just to scout out for those shuttles as they run round. Now, Ranged actually sees the fact that Reavers are in the natural, and weirdly enough, he went shuttle... Wait. Okay, I was gonna say, he went shuttle speed, but he didn't have a shuttle yet. And I'm like, did he really not buy them? Or did he really not buy one? Like, it just seems so weird, but... I think he has to go and do damage. Like, I don't think he can sit here. At least not in the way he is. He definitely needs to make something happen, you know? But once again, I'm not a Protoss player, so do forgive my misunderstandings of the matchups. I'll admit my previous rant on PvZ is coming from a position of complete ignorance and just like looking at what I'm seeing and thinking, surely there must be a better way. Somewhat... Okay, I've just had a really cool idea for something. I'm not gonna say what it is. I'm gonna make it and then show you guys. I've not had a good idea like that for a while, so this actually gives me a reason to make something. So I'm gonna do that. Looks like we are going to have a push coming in here from Metodman, but the trouble is, he's pushing into 2 Reavers, and his army's smaller. Like, he's not going to break this. Oh, but here we go. Looks like he can drop the Reavers in the main. He can actually do a lot of damage with these. The first Reaver actually going to be taking a lot of damage. Does need to pick this Reaver up. He can't afford to lose it. One Scarab goes, oh my god, that's a juicy Scarab. But it's bugging. No! He gets it. He catches up in probes, but he loses both of his Reavers and the shuttle. I mean, was that worth it? His opponent has 2 Reavers and a shuttle. He's going to come back now. As long as he can hold this counter push, he should be in a good place. But I don't know if he can defend with the units he has. He's got a single Reaver back at home. There's no shuttle. And that means the Reaver shuttle player is definitely going to be the one with the advantage here. There's still an observer over the minerals, so he knows exactly what his opponent's doing at the moment. But this is the big important moment in this game. If he can somehow defend against all of these units, he's going to be a good spot. The observer doesn't spot where the whole army is, only some of it. But he should know that Protoss players very rarely actually split their units up because they need to make sure they can 1A, 2A, 3A. Am I right, everyone? But yeah, he's going to give up the high ground here, which is a little bit unfortunate, but he still has no way of bringing Reavers into the fight. He's going to have them sat next to each other with no way to pick them up. If range can get some Scarabs on these Reavers, they are dead. Now let's zoom out here. Let's have a look at what's going on. The Reavers in the Scarabs, not actually, well, the Reavers in the shuttle, not really doing too much at the moment. Nice Scarabs from both sides, though, finally starting to come in. But there's still no shuttle. Looks like, oh my god, the player with the Reaver in the shuttle loses a Reaver to a Scarab. That is not what you want to see, but it looks like range just has too many units. Metodman is losing all of his stuff here. Now, he does have 1 Reaver left. It's not going to be enough. This is bound to be it. He's bound to GG here. There's nothing he can do. And I think Ash have just taken game number 2. I don't see a way that Metodman can come back from losing that many units. He made it even on the probe count, but range has gone ahead in probes once again. And with a Reaver and a shuttle, even though he lost one of them, he's got no way to contest this at all. Okay, he somehow holds on. How the hell did he do that? But was it in vain? There's so many more Dragoons coming in. He still doesn't have the high ground. And if you want to read the rules, Lucky Noob, you can check the thread on Team Liquid, the announcement thread. I do not know the rules off by heart, so yeah, you're gonna have to read the thread yourself for that. But it looks like this could be it. Range pushing in with all of his units. Metodman was doing his best to hold on. But I don't think Defender's Advantage is going to save him here. There's so many green units, so few red ones. I do apologize for anyone who may be red-green colorblind. I don't know if this has been difficult for you to watch. I don't know if there is a red-green colorblind person in chat, but I apologize in advance. They didn't host in the right settings. We'd have yellow versus yellow otherwise, and I don't know, casting PvP like this I think would be kind of interesting, but there's like no way. There is no way this is gonna work, right? Why did they make it like that? Why did they make it so shift tab on like a one-on-one replay made it yellow versus yellow? Who thought that was a good idea? Is it because you don't have the ally menu? Can you get to the ally menu? No, you can't. Like, was it always like that, or was that just a remaster thing? Yeah, third base coming in from ranged. He's taking the mineral only. He could take the gas base, but he's so far ahead it doesn't really matter at this point. Looks like a Metodman is going to be the one expanding to the gas base. Now, if he can manage to hold this base, and the game goes on long enough, he can maybe make something happen. I don't know, but we can always hope that Metodman is going to be able to pull something out the bag. But I think on the next engagement, they should be able to. Okay, we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gateways against 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 gateways. But once again, Metodman is giving up the high ground here. And that means Range is going to be able to push in again. This time his army is much, much bigger. He's got 2 Reavers and a shuttle. Once again. And I think this is bound to be game over. Metodman has done his best to try and hold on. Now how do you hold this? You just can't hold this without a shuttle. He's got 3 Reavers, but Reavers on their own just don't do anything. The shuttle is the power play with the Reaver. That's going to be the end of Metodman's army, and surely this is going to be GG. G is called. Metodman taps out, and that's going to take us into game number 3 when we get back after this short break. I've got headphones on like a noob. It doesn't help. It's because this stupid petrol shortage. This is just dumb. There isn't even a shortage. Like, the media have just fueled mass panic for some reason. It's so bloody annoying. And that just, I'm just getting everything ready again to start the next game. But essentially, just while you're watching some good old micro machines, essentially, what you can end up seeing... Why is it saying everyone's off? Okay. That's weird. I guess the search is kind of broken. But yeah, what I was gonna say, well, apparently people have been filling it with jerry cans. At least it's not like Florida where people started putting it in plastic bags. Like, how stupid can you be, right? That's insane. Also, I just want to point out that this video doesn't come up very often, but I recorded this video in VR chat. Someone ported Ridge Racer into VR chat and it owns. This isn't Ridge Racer 1 on the PS1, this is VR chat. It's great. It's so much fun, like, driving around. Like, VR is so good for that stuff. Sorry about the delay, guys. I am just quickly resetting up the overlay because Fear changed it. Well, I put Fear down as the wrong race, so... I'm just trying to figure out who actually played. I'm gonna have to make sure I update the notes as well. Oh my god, I just spoke like I was at work. I know what I mean. So, Zoom 1 game 1, Range 1 game 2. I'll be back in just 1 second, guys, and then we'll get started with game number 3. Okay, let's get started. Sorry about that, guys. So let's head back to the map stats. Let's have a look at the map we're going into. And that is not the right screen, but there we go. We can get that right screen ready right by one click of the button. We are going to be heading into Judgment Day. It's a PvP. It's the 8th PvP we've had on this map overall. DeWalt took down Mastery here last week. Are we going to see Fear take down KwarK? We're tied up 1-1. Let's see how it's going to go as we get into the game. Oh my god, these people with the friggin' horns on their cars, man. Okay, starting us off up here in the bottom, down here in the bottom right hand corner, fighting in the blue for CWT, it is Fear. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom left, fighting for Ash in the pink, it's KwarK. See, what KwarK doesn't realize is Fear is talking about my stream. He's not really, he's talking about KwarK's stream. The cheerful thread kind of disappeared because I felt guilty after Lucky Noob made so many last season and I didn't use any of them, and I still haven't figured out a good way of displaying them in game yet. As soon as I work that out, I'll use all the ones that Lucky Noob made last season. I'll do another cheerful thread. But I want to set up something that looks good, and everything I set up looked bad, so I couldn't decide. But I'll come up with something. Yeah, not many other people participate, so it's kind of unfair on poor Lucky Noob. I can make the thread and you can make memes, but then I feel kind of guilty because I'm not doing anything with them. I took a photo, by the way. I'm gonna upload this to Discord, right? And I'm gonna send a link to what the outside of my house looks like right now. It's insane. There are so many friggin' cars outside, it's ridiculous. I'm gonna send this, you know what, while we're waiting for this game to get in, we've got mirror builds so far, but KwarK getting his gas a little bit later. Where is my Discord? I'm going to send it to myself. Gas coming up, so kind of mirror builds, but a little bit of a time difference on KwarK's gas. I think he went for the Zealot first, whereas, well, they both went for Zealot, but Fear delayed his a little bit. Okay, here's my Kicks only channel, where I share stuff with myself so I can find them. Trouble is, I've got a Pixel 2, and there's a bug with the Pixel 2 now, where if your battery is below 50%, you can't take a photo. It crashes your phone. Okay, so just while we're waiting for the game to get into it, we've got two Zealots kind of fighting off against each other. KwarK gets into the main base. Let's see if he can do any damage. Looks like he's getting one probe. Can he get a second? It takes 4 hits, I think, from a Zealot to kill a probe. This probe doesn't want to attack for whatever reason. 2, 3 hits. Kill a probe then. 2 probes for a Zealot. Nice trade. KwarK now up 4 probes. Look at this. Tell me if that link works, right? That is a photo of what outside of my house looks like at the moment. It's insane. Like, that's also the garage where I got the season 3 or season 4 video where like all the boy racers were driving in and out of it. But it's been like that all day. It's friggin' insane. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, why are people so stupid? Here we've got cannons coming up at the front for KwarK because KwarK is going DTs. His opponent, however, is going 3 gate with no robo. So this game is going to be over very soon and DTs are going to win the game. That's going to be it. I hate to call it early, but wait. He's going Storm? Oh, he is going DTs. Okay. Thank God. Oh my goodness. I thought for a second that he was going just pure High Templar. Like, what the hell? Now, watch this. Does Fear notice the DT? Why is KwarK attacking the Dragoons with his DT? He's just giving the game away. I mean, there's probably nothing that Fear can do back at home. He's not even noticed. I mean, I guess he's stopping himself dying, right? This is a really weird push-in, but it actually worked. Now, the Dragoon is going to scout the second base coming up. Back at home, the Forge has started, so it's going to be cannons. This is such a weird game. Why is he not just winning the game with the DT? I don't understand why he bothered attacking the Dragoons at all. Like, even if the Dragoons get into his base, he builds another DT and he wins. KwarK is just... KwarK is he just playing with his food? Oh, yeah, KwarK doesn't know it could be... KwarK doesn't know it could be 3-gate obs or not. That's a fair point. This is a really good counter to DTs, by the way, it looks like. If the DT isn't going to attack you, if you just constantly run into their base, they have to constantly run the DT back home. And look at this, he's going to have a cannon up here to defend. This is such a really weird... It's a weird way of defending against DTs, but guess what? It worked. It actually worked. Yeah, he never made a second DT, which is just strange. He went straight into a High Templar. Now, he does have enough for Storm. but the Storm isn't really going to help him that much. And the DT's just being used defensively. KwarK is like, KwarK is playing this very strange, so I'm not really sure what he's doing. As Akram saying if you go straight in Storm, you go 1 DT. Okay, that's fair enough, I guess. Just on the topic of the... I'm just going to post the picture again, right? Just on the topic of these cunts, right? They're constantly honking their horns, right? And in the UK, there's this thing that's spread from football, where you go like... right? That's from... I don't know where it comes from. But there's always 2 smart asses. Someone starts honking, someone honks back at them, and then someone else just goes like and then someone else always goes boop boop. It's like, it's not even funny. Like the amount of people that have done it today, like why did collectively English people all do that? What is wrong with us? Like I'd even take it if they were using like honking as Morse code or some shit, but no one's moving out there. There is no point honking. No one can move any faster with you honking, right? It does nothing. All it does is just piss everyone off who lives near the road. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, seriously, I barely swear when I'm casting, but fuck, I'm really angry at those people. And the thing is, there's nothing you can do about it. I wonder if... You know what, it's after 9 o'clock, right? There's a law in the UK where you can't make too much public noise after a certain time. So I wonder if I could call, like, 111, which is, like, the non-emergency police line, and if the police will come and do something about it. Like, I don't want... I'm no grass, right? Snitches get stitches, right? But I don't know. I don't want to deal with that shit. They're really annoying me. I ain't no grass. I ain't no grass. Thing is, the police station is like only down the road as well, so it takes them like a minute to get there. If they're not like busy doing other stuff. I've not really heard too many sirens go past today, so I think the police having a quiet day for a change. Thing is, at least the police noise isn't nearly as bad as when I used to live in my old place. When I lived in my old place, I was literally right next to the road, and it was one of the main thoroughfares for the police to go through. I live nowhere near the police station, but there we go. Nice storms coming up on the Dragoons as they try and push the cannons. Fear has a lot of units. This is, for all intents and purposes, an all-in. He's trying to sneak and expand in the top right-hand corner of the... Oh my god, the Storm. The Storm doing so much. GG. Fear taps out, and KwarK wins game number 2. 3 even. That's game number 3, right. We'll be back in a few minutes with game number 4. Okay guys, welcome back. We're going to be heading into game number 4. It's going to be on KwarK. I've not actually added the win. Let's just add that. KwarK won, didn't he? There we go. We're on KwarK. It's like the first PvP we've had on KwarK in the STPL's history, so looking forward to it. Just loading up the replay. Once again, it's pretty crazy. Just because we're not in the game yet, and it means I'm perfectly okay to talk about whatever I want. The Kirby game is, it's... The police have come! Someone's called the police on those assholes, fuck yeah.